Hello and welcome everybody to another edition of Inside Guns with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. Today I want to talk about something that's on a lot of people's minds, according to Facebook and Instagram, etc., and something that apparently a lot of people have been wondering what I feel about, how I feel about, based on the questions I've been receiving. And that is to do with the Kyle Rittenhouse and Black Rifle Coffee Company issue that's going on right now. For those of you that are not aware, I think most of you are aware of Kyle Rittenhouse and how he was a young man who was involved in some very unfortunate things, and he is now out on bail thanks to the MyPillow guy and Ricky Schroeder, who I believe he is supposedly pictured with here. And is that Ricky Schroeder? Come on, people, let me know. Is that really Ricky Schroeder? If so, he did not age well. I mean, he's like my age, right? Ricky Schroeder? We're close in age, I think. Whatever. But that's beside the point. I was going to say, Kyle Rittenhouse is now out on bail. A lot of people are like, Kyle Rittenhouse is free. Well, he's not really free. He's out on bail. He's still got to face some really tough times ahead. And I feel for him. My heart goes out to Kyle Rittenhouse and the people that lost their lives that night. Like, even though I believe some of them were involved in things they shouldn't be doing, I hate to see people lose their lives unnecessarily. But like I said, Kyle Rittenhouse is out on bail. And as you can see in this picture, he was wearing a Black Rifle Coffee Company t-shirt. Well, apparently someone that Black Rifle Coffee Company sponsors saw that, posted that picture, and said, hey, look, even Kyle Rittenhouse knows who the best coffee is. I don't think he was intending to do anything wrong there. But apparently Black Rifle Coffee Company got upset, said, you don't need to be doing this. This is something we don't want you to do. We don't want to be associated with this. Or for whatever reason they didn't want their brand brought into this whole thing. So they cut off that guy, and now people are mad at them because they're like, you don't support Kyle Rittenhouse. And a lot of people have been asking me what I think about that and what do I think about the Black Rifle Coffee Company. Well, first off, let's get the part no one's going to like out of the way first. Black Rifle Coffee Company is a private company. They have every right to remain apolitical if they choose to. They have every right to not want to be associated with polarizing topics like Kyle Rittenhouse, because remember, for every person out there that thinks he's a hero, there's someone who thinks he's the devil incarnate. And then there's people like me in the middle that realize he's a kid whose circumstances got away from him while he was trying to do the right thing, found himself in a bad situation, had to defend himself, and now everyone is sorry that it happened, including Kyle Rittenhouse, I'm certain. In fact, looking at the kid, I'm like, how can anyone look at him and think he's a monster? I mean, I look at this and I see a child who is in over his head, who the adults in his life led him down the wrong path. Not the wrong path as like, being a social, someone who's involved in their society, someone who's trying to make a difference, someone who's trying to help. Just that particular night, they took a kid into a situation a kid should not have been, with a weapon that a kid should not have had in that situation. Like, I don't mind if they shoot him at the range and stuff, or even if they have them access to him at home at that age. But in a volatile situation like that out in public on private property that they were asked not to be there by the owners of the property, it was just a bad circumstance all around, and the adults in his life should have made sure that didn't happen, but they didn't. So like I said, I don't see how anyone can look at him and see him as a monster, but like I say, off topic. But like I was saying, Black Rifle Coffee Company has every right to not want to be associated with something that is polarizing, as I said, or highly politically charged. It's not good for business. I've owned businesses before, and although I will not tell my employees what they can do in their free time, I don't want one of my employees to be standing out on the corner in a t-shirt that says, Portlanders for communism or something, talking about we should be a communist country, blah, 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 and then them get off their bucket, put on their work shirt, and walk in and be seen in my restaurant as a bartender. I would not want that. I'd be like, if you want to do that, you can't work here. So I know what it's like to not want to be associated or have your business associated with things maybe you don't want to accept the fallout from. So I understand completely and 100% support their right to not be behind or not to want to be associated with. It doesn't mean that they don't agree that Kyle Rittenhouse is not a bad person. It's not that they don't support Kyle Rittenhouse. There's every chance in the world that they do support Kyle Rittenhouse. I don't know. And I can't read their minds. But as a business, not as individuals, as a business, I can understand the desire to not be involved in polarizing or highly politically charged circumstances. That being said, I don't like the Black Rifle Coffee Company. Don't like them one bit. This is a situation where I think that they overreacted. If they'd have just said nothing, I don't think anybody would have cared. I think the fact that they did overreact shows that they care about one thing more than anything, and that is business, which is fine. They are a business. But I don't have to like them. I could wish they were something better. They want to exploit the gun community. They want to cater to the gun community and everything else. They want the gun community to support their business, their rather expensive coffee. And they want us to do it because they are pro-Second Amendment. They're a pro-Second Amendment company. And if that's true, if you want that, well, then when it comes time to be pro-Second Amendment, or at least push back against the demonization of a kid who got involved in an incident with a rifle while being a pro-Second Amendment person himself, I can have issue with that. I can understand why you do it, but I can still not like it. And I don't like it. I've never been a big fan of the Black Rifle Coffee Company since they sided with the NRA. When they went into business with the NRA, they made a deal with the devil. This was well after everybody knew what the NRA was about. And they just saw dollar signs and they signed on that dotted line and says, we are with the NRA all the way. And I was like, then you can fuck off at that point. So to me, this is just another, I understand what you're doing, but you can fuck off. If I hadn't already told them to fuck off. I'm not a big coffee drinker, to be honest. I drink like 1 cup of coffee a week, maybe 2. And I never drank any coffee till I was 52 years old. Maybe 51. So I'm not their target audience, of course. But like I said, I understand what a private business wants to do for business and what they think might be bad for business. But you should have just been quiet. You should have just been like, hey, he's wearing our shirt. If I was watching TV tomorrow and Kamala Harris walked out with a Yankee Marshal t-shirt on, I'd be like, well, first I'd be like, what the fuck? But then I'd be like, ha, cool. Someone saw wearing my t-shirt. I don't have to agree with her. I might make a statement going, I don't support Kamala Harris at all, but that was fucking cool that she was wearing my t-shirt. But I'm not a business. I'm just a guy in his garage making videos. So, like I said, I understand what they're doing, but I don't have to like them. And I don't have to like the fact that they do it. And I don't like them. I don't like that they made such a big deal out of this. There's other issues, if you look into them very closely, according to Facebook, Instagram, etc., where they've shown these colors in the past. I'm not going to go into those because I've not researched them myself. But if you want to research them, research them. But like I say, when they signed on that dotted line, I'm assuming in blood, since it is the NRA and Wayne LaPierre, to sign up with the NRA, they lost my support. And this blatant negative reaction to just even being associated with Kyle Rittenhouse, that's just another nail in their coffin as far as I'm concerned. Because I've never liked them to begin with. So keep that in mind when I'm telling you all this. It's already a company I don't like for reasons of my own. So even though I will defend them as a business and say that they have every right to do that, I'm going to say, I don't like it. I don't like them. This didn't make me not like them. I already didn't like them, but I'll tell you what, this sure don't help. All right, with that being said, I want to move on to answer a viewer question here. Now, tonight's question came from a viewer in my live chat this evening, so I don't have it to read here in front of me, so I can't read it verbatim. So what I'm going to do is paraphrase here. Basically, this person said, hey, I know Glocks are super overrated. And the people that love them are sometimes hard to deal with. But I shoot my Glocks so well. Is there something wrong with me that I think Glocks are awesome and that I love my Glock so much? Well, I'm going to answer that question by saying, no, there is nothing wrong with you because Glocks are awesome. That's not up for debate. And believe me, I'm someone who likes to poke the Glocktards as much as anyone. I got a Glocktard poke and stick right there in the corner. I like to rile them up, let them use their little Cheeto-stained fingers to type out angry messages back to me on the internet. It makes my day. It feeds my soul to aggravate the Glocktards. But Glocks themselves are awesome. As I already said, they're great guns. They're reliable. They're simple. They are a great tool. They are effective. They're easy to shoot. I mean, there's just everything about them is simple. Point, pull the trigger. There's nothing else to it. Don't pull the trigger if you don't want to shoot. They're even good for beginners because they're so simple. You just know, don't put your finger on the trigger. There is nothing negative about a Glock, period. Unless, of course, you like some of the more aesthetic aspects of other guns or some of the features of other guns. But as far as the Glock goes, for what it is, I don't want to say it's perfect, but it's a Glock. And that's pretty daggone good. And people who want a Glock, that's what they want. And for the people who do want Glocks, it's an awesome gun. So there's nothing wrong with you for liking Glocks. I like Glocks. I own a couple of Glocks. I think they're awesome. They're just not my favorites. I don't like polymer guns. Glocks are polymer. But other than that, Glocks are freaking awesome. I even like the looks of them. I think they're very attractive guns. Some people think Glocks are ugly. They're ugly, but they're functional. And I'm like, I disagree. I think they're almost artistic. They're almost a artistic work of minimalism, if that makes sense to anyone out there. They are function over form to the point where form becomes important. If that makes any sense to the least or the less artistic people out there. It's just, I like the way they look, is basically what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I like the way they look. That's just a long way to say it. And like I say, they're reliable. They're capable. They're powerful. You can get them in all different calibers. They're versatile. Maybe they don't have the best ergonomics. Maybe they don't have the best sights or the best triggers. But I'm not saying they're the best. I'm just saying they're awesome. So if you like your Glock and you shoot your Glock better than anything else, but then that Glock's probably the best gun in the world for you. And as far as standing on its own objectively as to whether it's actually a good gun or not, it is a good gun. It's a great gun. No amount of hyperbole, however you pronounce it. I always say hyperbole, but I'm not sure which way it is going to change that. No amount of people bitching about it is going to change the history of the gun. It's an awesome gun. And even the people who love it being, kind of skeezy, that's just something you deal with when you like Glocks. Just ignore them. Or poke them. It's fun to poke them. Not poke them in that way. I mean, unless you want to poke them that way. That's up to you, too. I mean, everyone needs love. But Glocks are awesome. There's nothing wrong with you for liking one. More power to you. To me, it just shows that you like simplicity. You like function. You like reliability. You like everything that equals up to being a Glock. And you like Glocks. And there's nothing wrong with that. All right, now we're to the part of the show where I get to talk guns, my favorite part of the show. Yesterday, I showed everyone a revolving shotgun. It's a shotgun with a revolver cylinder in it that's made in Turkey. It's a 410 shotgun with a revolver cylinder. And I said, this thing looks so awesome, but I'll never buy it because it's from Turkey and I don't like turkey and blah, blah, blah. Not the bird turkey. I love the bird turkey. I like a turkey sandwich as much as anybody, but I don't like the country turkey. So I said, I'll never buy one on the primary market. I'll never buy one retail. If I ever buy one, I'll have to find it on the secondary market, which isn't going to be very likely. Well, as I was talking about that, a lot of people watched the video, and then they said in the comment section of the video, hey, you need to check out the Rossi Circuit Judge. It's basically the same thing. And I'm going to say the Rossi is awesome. In fact, I call it the Taurus Circuit Judge because even if you look at the side of the gun, it says made in Brazil by Taurus. So it's basically a Taurus gun, and I got no problem with Taurus guns. I like Taurus revolvers. The only reason I don't like this one as much as the one from Turkey is the stock. If you look at this gun, the other one looked like a shotgun with a revolver barrel put in it. This looks more like a revolver that they've replaced the grips with a stock, put a long barrel on it, and attached a little 4-end piece to. So even though it is super cool, I just don't like it as much as I did the Turkish-made model. But I still think it's really cool. In fact, after looking at it, I'm like, I think my dealer might have one of these in stock. I might have to look at that next time I go there. It's funny how you overlook something you've seen a dozen times before, and you don't even know you want it or like it until other people point out to you that you want it or like it. Maybe I'm just weak-willed. But I wanted to talk about that, the Rossi Circuit Judge today. Because for those people out there that got interested in that gun that I was talking about yesterday, but also don't want to buy something from Turkey, maybe you should look at the Rossi Circuit Judge or the Taurus Circuit Judge, as I like to call it, because like I say, made by Taurus. So this is a very interesting gun. I think it's very cool. I'm probably going to check one out at my dealer here pretty soon. And remember, I'm not paid to say this. I'm not advertising this gun for money. I'm just genuinely interested in it. So I think I'm going to check it out. Maybe I'll have a new home rifle, home shotgun for home defense, because I think it'd be a very easy to use gun. And I think 410 is very effective at close range. So I just wanted to point out to everybody that there is an option other than that Turkish option. It doesn't look quite as rifle-y to me as the other one does, but, you know, it's a little fugly, but, you know, with a little bit of time, you can grow to love something because it's fugly, not just in spite of it. So if you were interested in that rifle I talked about yesterday, but you don't like turkey either, then check out the Rossi Circuit Judge. This thing is pretty cool, and I might have to check one out myself next time I go to my dealer. All right, now we're to the part of the show where we do a little legal talk. But tonight, I don't want to talk about gun laws and gun legislation and gun things to pay attention to, at least not directly. I want to talk something that very indirectly affects our Second Amendment rights. If you're not aware, Trump has not conceded, but basically conceded, technically conceded, that Biden has won the election now. He ordered the transition to start officially taking place. Well, that means to everyone out there who thought we might end up with a second Trump term, you're going to now have to sit and go, it's going to be Biden. And there's going to be a lot of challenges that come from a Biden presidency, especially from a Biden-Harris presidency, which I think is actually going to be a Harris-Biden presidency. I just think she's going to be the driving force, just like Cheney was behind Bush. I think we're going to see another Cheney situation here. Now, I am someone who has been optimistic, and I am going to continue to be optimistic, and I'm going to continue to encourage you to be optimistic. Because here's the thing, even though we are facing a Biden-Harris or a Harris-Biden administration now, and we're going to have to deal with their gun plans, you know, their gun laws, their anti-violence, whatever they want to call it, their gun violence legislation. We know they call it something it isn't, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying. But even though we're going to have to deal with that, I don't think they have a rat's chance in hell of getting anything meaningful done. Especially if we hold the Senate. And if you ask me, that's the only reason Donald Trump right now conceded. Because currently, when he was still fighting, there was so much division in the Republican Party that it was a good chance they were going to lose both seats in Georgia because of all the infighting. So for those of you out there that say Trump never does anything for anyone other than Trump, I think in this case, whether you want to say he did it with a gun to his head or not, go right ahead, say it whichever way you want. He did something for the Republican Party and did something for gun rights for once. Whether he meant to or not, he did something for gun rights this time by stepping down, by conceding. Because now maybe we'll be able to hold on to those seats. In fact, now I'm more assured than ever that we'll be able to hold onto their seats, and I'm pretty much certain we'll keep at least one, if not both. So I think people should realize that, hey, for everyone who hated Trump because they didn't think he was truly Second Amendment, whether he meant to or not, he did something great for the Second Amendment here because, like I said, with that infighting, we were going to lose the Senate. It was very likely. But now, like I said, the bad thing is we are going to have to deal with the Harris-Biden agenda. But like I say, stay strong because I ain't worried about it, and I don't think you should be because we're going to win. Half the stuff they propose is unconstitutional. Never going to get through the Senate. And even if it did, it would be met with immediate injunctions and would fail into court because some of this stuff is blatantly unconstitutional. So for those of you that are panicking or worrying, I know that it behooves a lot of people out there, a lot of gun channels and a lot of organizations to pretend the sky is falling, because with the sky falling, usually that ends up with a rainfall of cash too, because they terrify everyone. But right now, I don't think we have to be terrified. Support your local organizations, your local gun rights organizations that are actually fighting the fights, because they will be the ones that win the court cases. But don't panic. We got this. I think if we stand together and do what we need to do, we will win this fight against the Harris-Biden campaign. Believe me, I'm not optimistic because I don't think they're going to try. I'm optimistic because I don't think they have any chance to succeed, especially not if we stand together like we did in 2013. Remember, we beat Obama back badly. We beat him like a rug when it came to his anti-gun policies after 2012. What happened in December 2012 and in 2013. So I hope no one thinks that's a racist statement. I hope that in no way is any way a racist statement, beaten like a rug. If so, I apologize ahead of time. I will, come out to the podium and say I'm sorry and probably get fired, although I don't have a job, so I can't get fired. I'm unemployed. That's one good thing about being unemployed. You can't be fired. I'm retired, but same thing. But like I said, getting off topic. I'm not optimistic because I don't think Biden-Harris won't try. I'm just optimistic because I know we will beat them. When we stand together, when we do the right things, when we don't allow our thinking to be clouded by fear, when we don't allow ourselves to be divided by hatred and intolerance, when we stand up for just the Second Amendment and don't let our other ideas come into that, when we do the right thing, when we don't allow ourselves to be blinded by money or to follow false prophets who are blinded by money, I think we will prevail, especially in this case where I think we will prevail in the courts. So for those of you out there that are really worried, don't worry. Like I said, give Trump some credit where credit is due, and two, don't worry about it. We got it. And by we, I mean us, me, you, everybody else out there. If we stand together, Biden and Harris don't stand a chance. All right, there you have it. There's today's edition of Inside Guns with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. Hope you enjoyed the show and hope you join us again tomorrow for another edition. Until then, I want to remind you that this channel is fully funded by viewers. I don't accept advertising. I don't accept sponsors. I don't take money from gun organizations or manufacturers. I take money from no one but you. I like taking your money because it helps me do the things I like to do. TYM the Pets and Vets program, the Friends program, and every other thing we do. That's because you all support the channel and getting the word out there, trying to counter the fear mongers and the violence porn purveyors who just want to make money and don't want to do what's right for the Second Amendment. Being here and being counter to those people, that's made possible 100% by you, and I thank you all for it. If you want to be someone to help support the channel, go on over to Patreon. There's multiple tiers you can join where you get patches, pins, all kinds of different perks over there. Go to Patreon, become a member. I do appreciate it. And until then, it is what it is, the state of the world. But if we work together, what it will be in the future is something better.